Hi there! Today we'll make this little heart in the middle. We will start by knitting the top two bumps of the heart, and then we'll connect them. First, you will need your double pointed needles that you will wrap your yarn around them both, making sure you have 3 stitches on the top and 3 stitches or wraps on the bottom, like leaving the tail in the middle and holding them tight so that tail does not escape. You usually do a little slip knot, but because that slip knot somehow pokes out through the stitches, I twist that little tail at the end, and with some gymnastics I'm able to pull it through and hide the tail without it coming undone. So when I reach the last stitch, I'll just twist it, and then making sure I hold it and tug it a bit so it doesn't go away. And you're just gonna play a little bit of yarn gymnastics there with your needles till you're just done with that first row, and then it's all good. Now that first row is out of the way, comes the fun part. We will start increasing at the beginning of that needle and at the end, right after the first stitch. We will do a little loop and put a little increase there. Then we'll knit the middle stitch, and then we'll put one more increase, and just that little loop will make a great little increase there, and we'll knit the last stitch, which will give us a nice edge around the heart. And then we'll do the same thing to the other needle. We have 5 stitches right now here, so we increased 2, and on this needle we'll also increase with just a little twist, because I'm using thinner needles and a little bit of a thicker yarn. There's no holes showing with that increase, so just enjoy that increasing there. The next row will be just knitting through those increases. We will not increase on that next row, so you will increase every other row till you reach 7 stitches on each needle for a total of 14 on both needles. So that's the last one. Keep in mind that your tail will be at the end of the needles, so when you reach to that tail, you will know which is your front and which is your back. So your tail will be to the left of you, showing that that's the beginning of the row. So that's one way to know which one is your front and which one is your back. So one more increase here on that row at after the first stitch, and then one more increase before the last stitch on this needle. We will repeat it one more time on the other side. Then we will have one row just plain knitting through those increases, and then we'll cut the yarn off and we'll do it one more time. So we are all done with that first bump, cutting off the yarn and getting ready to cast on the next bump or the other bump. And we do the same thing. We leave the tail in the middle, wrap around 3 times, and make sure you increase till you get exactly the same piece as the first one. And I'll do it and I'll be back. So here I am back with the second bump of the heart. I'm looking at the tails. They both are to the left. So it means that the front of the project is facing me. They both are exactly the same. And I'm ready to connect them both. I will use a little stitch marker to show me the front of my project because those little tails will disappear inside the project, inside the heart. So I'm not going to be able to tell if I get distracted or if I have to stop for a second. I don't have to be confused or wonder where I stopped. All right, so I will also grab a couple of extra stitch markers so I count my rows. That's another trick you can use. Since I'll knit 3 rows without any increases or decreases. This way, every time I begin a new row, I'll put a new stitch marker to my pretty one, so I know at which row I'm at the moment. So this is my first row, no increases or decreases, just connecting both hearts and starting the body of the heart. So here I am at the back of my project, connecting the other side, and I have exactly the same step to do, and I will switch to one needle on the next row because it's a little bit harder when those little needles are poking everywhere. And when I'm again in the front of my project, I will use one more stitch marker to mark my second row that I'm starting to knit, and 1, 2, and one more row to go after that, and then I'll be ready to decrease. So here I am at the beginning of the third row. I'll put my last stitch marker here to tell me that I'm working that third row with no increases or decreases, just going around and around and around. 1, 2, 3 stitch markers. So after this one, when I'm back, we'll start decreasing at the beginning and at the end of each needle. Woo, we are all done with those longest rows in the project. Since we have no increases or decreases, these rows, they're just the longest ones. So after 3 times going in the round, we are ready to decrease. Okay, here we are at the fun part. We will start decreasing. Twist the first stitch, and to make sure you go through the back leg of that first and second stitch, grab them together, pull through them, make sure you tug so you can make it a little tight stitch. You can even tug the second stitch so it can help you make it a little bit of a tighter knit there. Knit all the stitches but the last 2, and when we get to the last 2 stitches, we'll also knit them together to make one more decrease, and that's the first decrease here. All right, so here we grab those 2 together, we knit them together, and that's a little bit tight, but it all works in the end. We go to the back side of our project and we do the same exact thing, making sure that we go through the back leg of that first stitch, and the second stitch is just gonna follow the first one. So we go through the back leg, we tug carefully and tightly so you can have a nice neat side, and that's all. And we do the same thing, knit 2 together at the end of that little needle. All right, so knit till the last 2 of your stitches, and then knit 2 together. Those rows are getting shorter and shorter, so everything is gonna move faster and faster. So here we are at the end. Knit 2 together, just twist and help yourself there. Then there we are. So that next row will be no decreases. We're just gonna knit around. This helps you, that tagging of the stitch helps you have a neat edge. So make sure you don't have holes on the sides, or those little ladders show there. Okay, so we just go around and just knit through the stitches. No decrease in that row. So we will decrease every second row, and every other row will be just plain knitting. Okay, so we keep going till we reach till we have only 4 stitches left on each needle. So 4 stitches on the front needle and 4 stitches at the back needle. Yay, I made it to the last 4 stitches on each needle, and it's time to stuff my heart. But before that, I will close that little hole at the top. It forms from that connecting from those bumps at the beginning, but not a big deal if you just wrap gently around those few stitches. Hide your tail inside your knitting. I don't even bother to make a knot or anything, since they're only for decoration. Nobody's gonna play with them. I just pull it through. But if you're gonna make a toy or any, pet toy or a kid's toy, make sure you secure all these ends very well. Or you just need a new one if this one falls apart. So it's time to stuff it in, and you can put as much as stuffing as you want. You can put a lot and make it a little bit harder, put less and make it a little bit softer. I try to match all of the hearts I have, since they're gonna be sitting on my coffee table just for decoration for Valentine's Day. Okay, and then we will finish those last 4 stitches, decreasing each time till we only get 2, and we pull them through together and just close that little hole there. So I'll decrease all the stitches 2 by 2, and I'll have only 2 stitches left on this needle. I'll decrease them again, and I'll just go in the round with them till I because I don't want to make it too pointy, I'm not gonna just knit through them, but just gonna decrease every time till I have only those 2 stitches left, and then I'll pull them through with the rest of my yarn, and the tail I'll hide inside the heart. And that's all. Enjoy your hearts. So that's the best part. Hide your tail inside your project, remove that stitch marker, and you're all done. Give that heart away, make a gift, play, put it for decor, and thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment on the video. Have fun, and I'll catch you with your next project.